everybody. Welcome to our show. We're very excited today. This is our 15th episode. Um,
Woo!
so
Time
we are just
flies.
rocking and rolling. I love the conversation. I love the energy. I love all the stuff that we get to talk about because we really don't have representation. So I feel like this is really the perfect opportunity to talk about things that matter to us. And so before I get started, I wanted to introduce Sonia and Sharita as my co-hosts. They are very instrumental in making this thing a success. And they have wonderful, Sharita is frozen. They have wonderful comments and suggestions. And so we'll get started. Today, we're going to talk about the title of this episode is called Girl, Stay in Your Lane. And I ran across an article the other day about Madonna. So everybody knows Madonna. We all grew up with her. She's 64 years old, and she had to be brought back to life with Narcan. And so her people are saying it's because of a sepsis or some type of infection. And my husband works in the medical field, and he says they do not use Narcan for infections. Narcan is used to reverse the effects of a drug overdose.
Yeah, that's what I
So
thought.
the fact that this 64-year-old woman is doing drugs, allegedly, is really troubling to me. And I feel like a lot of signs led up to this with her, with the fact that she hangs out with 20-year-olds. You know, she is posing naked, half naked on social media. Her boyfriend is 20 something. You know, she's partying. I don't know. I'm not here to place like assignment to people like how they're supposed to behave. But when you take it to a level where you have to be brought back to life, something is really, really wrong. So I wanted to kind of explore that, like what goes through the minds of us as women as we, try to stay relevant. We look at these young girls coming up, and they're gorgeous and they have all the attention, and I know that us we three don't really do that, but I think in Hollywood the pressure is just so intense that it's just become a never ending like battle. Like you're constantly going for the youth, the fountain of youth. And I feel like it's a tragedy while we're watching this train wreck. And is that the expectation for women?
I hope.
So I don't really want to take over this conversation because I asked Sonia, who's very passionate about this subject, to lead our conversation.
Opinionated. It's more like
yes, but very opinionated. So with that, Sonia, take it away because I know you've done some research and I know you have some definite ideas about what this is all about.
So what Kaz doesn't know is we're all about to moderate this conversation.
Oh, okay.
Now I am passionate because I am really opinionated about everything. But when we started started having a discussion about Madonna and what she could be going through, there were all of these hypotheses about what it could be, and yes, Narcan is used, as she said, it's connected to drug overdose. And then, I don't want to think Madonna is out here doing heroin in her mid-60s. But she has had lots of plastic surgeries, and she has spoken about healing from those plastic surgeries publicly because people were really shocked at her appearance and how extreme she had gone to, I don't even want to say fix her face, but this is what happened. And so to explain that, she did say that this was the result of swelling. But what makes, and look at this beautiful woman, what would make her risk it all to look like this? What does your mirror have to tell you at a certain age to make you have multiple surgeries? And so we were talking about, this idea that, when you have surgeries, you could be prescribed opioids. I've never had a surgery, as much as I would want to have a surgery. And there were things that I could definitely fix and correct. Um, for personal reasons, my husband definitely doesn't agree with it, and even though it's ultimately my decision, I agree with him about not getting. I don't think it's worth the risk, and then that's something we're going to talk about too. But this whole idea of Madonna chasing her youth is something that really we all do. So let's call a thing a thing. We all, nobody really is anxious to get old. We're in, we all want to live long, but we're all looking for the fountain of youth. And we could have just as easily named this stay in your lane, concede the right of way, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run, play your position. We could have gone either way with this, but I want to know from you guys, like, what do you think about women our age, and the fact that we are looking to much younger women and much younger women on social media as aspirations for beauty. When, and I'll preface that by saying, when we were coming up, we had so many role models, right? We had our mothers who were fabulous. We had women in the church who were fabulous. We had teachers who didn't dress like students, like they do today. They dressed every day and they were fabulous. So we had community representation, familiar representation, and we had Hollywood representation. Beautiful Black women. And now those women, I feel like, have been put out to pasture. And what have we left? We have social media. But what do you think about us?
I personally am not opposed to
a little
plastic
snip
surgery.
and tuck, a little something, something. Yeah.
So, yeah, I and I have actually had Botox before, and I will be getting it again.
Yeah.
But I kind of draw the line when you no longer look like yourself and you become a caricature. But I also blame the physician, the doctor.
Yeah.
How could they do that in good conscience to people? Like, destroy their, isn't there like a Catwoman?
Jocelyn Wilderstein. They call her the Bride of Wilderstein.
So to me, that man needs to be in jail. Whoever
and she was
did that
beautiful. If you see pictures of her before she started to become addicted to surgery, she was beautiful. And so many women are starting to look like the Bride of Wilderstein.
Well, Madonna does.
Yes.
I do see a lot. And so I am a Housewives fan. And I noticed that all of the older housewives have the lips, the cheeks, and it's like that, that Joker smile. What is that? I don't even know what. It just is so apparent that they've had so much work done that it doesn't even look attractive. It just looks weird. It looks like, I don't understand that level. I think there's levels to it. Like, for me, my personal reason for Botox is to eliminate the 11s. If anybody has ever had Botox, you know that they call these the 11s. So these are two lines that go down your forehead. They're creased. They're two little creases. And the Botox just fills that up. You can also get to where you can lift up your eyebrow.
And people do that to the extreme. They don't know when to stop. I've seen that look crazy.
Right. And so I feel like, a little here, a little there, just like makeup, just like everything in moderation.
Yeah.
People overeat, people overdrink, people put on too much makeup, people get too much plastic surgery. It's like, but I feel like the people responsible for giving them that surgery need to be held accountable, because obviously you have a mental illness if you want to look like the Wilderstein woman. If you want to look like the cat lady, you're not right.
Well, I
appear.
don't think that that was the look she was going for. I think that's the look she ended up with.
What the fact of the matter is, she had been going in that direction for multiple surgeries. It was looking like that every single time and it got worse. It's like, do you not realize that what you're doing is making things worse?
And sometimes I think that they're trying to fix it, and it's so far gone that they think, oh, this next one's gonna make me go back, or make go back to what I really wanted. So let's try it one more time. And you're trying to fix something that's not fixable, and you're actually just in la la land because it's not gonna happen. So you just keep making it worse.
I think the interesting thing is when you look external, when you're trying to fix something internal and you're looking external for the solution, it's unattainable. So there has to be, and so which brings me to another point. And it just occurred to me, I actually thought this was a requirement for plastic surgery, especially when you're a certain age. And correct me if you've heard this, let me know that you have to have some therapy. And I might be conflating two issues. I might be thinking of transgender or whatever, but I'm thinking that if that's not the case,
it's not.
Thinking that people have real issues.
Yeah.
With the way they look. Maybe they never had an issue. Maybe I never really would have had an issue with my forehead if somebody in school didn't call it a 5-head or a 6-head.
They call me big head too.
But this is the way it starts, right? And if you are a weak person, which, listen, if I'm being honest, if you go look at pictures of me in my teens and in my very, very early 20s, you never saw me without a bang. I always wore bangs, and if the wind was blowing, my hand was like this. And talking about inspirations, when Sade came out, and she came out with that big old 6-piece head and those hoop earrings, I was hooked. I had my hair back, and I was rocking my big old head and missing hoops all the time, and that was my thing. But if you are a weak person, when somebody tells you, take a little Kim, for instance.
Yeah.
Somebody told that beautiful girl that she was too dark, that her nose wasn't right, or her this, and now who is she?
Like, she's almost the cat lady.
Yes.
Yep.
Why can't people see that one too many plastic surgeries and this is what you're going to look like? Nobody aspires to be Jocelyn Wilderstein. So why would anybody keep doing this except you are chasing something that's elusive, something that's unattainable? You can have, just like Michael Jackson, you can have 50 nose jobs. You'll never be satisfied because what's wrong with you is really internal. And I think that, we should talk about normalizing, which we've talked about this a lot of times, normalizing therapy the way plastic surgery has become normalized. So I also want to ask you, Black people, we used to be like, I ain't going under, ain't nobody cutting me open. You could need gallbladder, you could need once they cut you, when do we become so fearless when it comes to these surgeries that we are now all about the medical tourism?
Social media. Well, social media has made it very common. Like, it's like, oh, I'm going to go get me a tummy tuck, or I'm going to go have my ears pulled back, or I'm going to be out of commission for about 3 days, but I'll be back. I'll be fabulous. And it's like, what? Yeah.
I also think that there's a lot of pressure. I know personally, every single morning when I wake up and I see him,
Okay,
Did we lose her? I think she's a little froze.
and you know what? We've all had our turn at freezing, and
And
here
she's usually flawless. You're right. She's
an
usually
inside joke.
flawless.
God don't like ugly. You see how she got?
Well, she will be back. There she is. There she is. You had a little freeze. It was about your turn.
Please do finish your
Yeah.
point, because you froze.
It keeps knocking me out, and I don't know why. I have very good Wi-Fi.
Ah,
So anyway, I was just saying that, there's a lot of pressure because you're constantly being hard on yourself, very self-aware of all the things that happen as you age. And it's something that's beyond our control. I mean, you can put lots of lotions and creams and, try to exercise and keep it tight and right, but
well,
it's inevitable that it's going to happen. And miracle, to prevent that from happening or to reverse the age, the effects of aging. And it only costs $30,000.
yeah. I just
If
go
you
get
have
me a car.
$30,000, if you have $30,000 to spend, and that is a big concern of yours, then yeah, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
So if you don't have 30,000, but you got 5,000, you can go to Mexico.
Oh, and maybe not come back.
And maybe not come back.
Yeah.
And so, and that's an interesting point, because there are people that are willing to risk it all. If I can't afford to go to a reputable surgeon, I've done the research. I've looked at his docs, and he's got this many stars, and and I've checked his medical malpractice, and I've done all the vetting that I can do, but I can't afford this procedure, this $30,000 procedure. But I can go to Mexico and have all of that and then some for $10,000.
And you know what? The saying is, you
Mhm.
get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for. But let's talk about really why we do some of these. So I cautionary tales, like there are like, you have the first one that really resonated for me, because I always wanted to go somewhere else and have surgery, and then because I thought I could get from my head to my toe done for what they're charging in other countries, right?
Yeah.
And then enter Kanye West's mother, who was the first one that we knew on a global scale that passed away having plastic surgery in Brazil. Donda West, rest in peace. And then as of late, 32 years old. Her name is Jackie O. She's the mother of DC Young Fly's 3 young kids.
Beautiful
She
girl.
go out of the country, but
Beautiful
she
girl.
went to have a mommy makeover.
Yep.
And this is, she had surgeries before. And this is why I say, when you enter into this realm, I don't know what it is about it that's addictive, but it must be. Because nobody does it just once.
Yeah.
It's always, you're going to go back and you're going to tweak it, because also it doesn't last. If you don't change some behaviors, it's not going to last.
Well, now so this girl was 32 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you need at 32 years old?
Well, she had 3 small kids, so I think she was trying to get a belly. She was trying to do, and she's on Wild and Out. She's still out there on social media. She still had a brand that she was still trying to live up to. And if you looked at her, she's beautiful.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
I don't understand.
Well,
because
people feel like
that's what happens when you start at 32. When you get to be 52, you done had like 60 surgeries by then.
Yeah.
Because you still got 32, 42. You got some ways, because a lot of things happen when you hit 50.
Yeah, we know.
And you've already done some stuff. Like, she was setting herself up. That's just a setup.
It's so unfortunate. These are all, and then again, and you do it too soon. If you know you're going to have kids and you're going to keep having kids, a lot of times people don't plan for these things.
Yeah.
But if you know you have kids and you're going to keep having kids, wait till you have your kids. Wait till you're done having your kids, and then maybe go get. She had already had surgeries before. She needed this mommy makeover. So what were you doing with all the you already had a booty, but you needed to get your booty bigger after the babies. You needed to get your waist. What does anybody need with a 19-inch waist? I don't understand this.
I'm thinking maybe it's financial, right? If you are snatched and tight and right and you're looking fabulous, you're getting more views. And I guess views and likes equal
More
money.
And so this is a job for them.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of like if
It's a
you're an actor and you need to play the role of an overweight guy, you're gonna put on the
Gain weight.
pounds to keep that job as that actor. But I feel like that's putting your life on the line for money. Like you pretty much sold out. I feel like people would respect because you've seen the social media people when they go, oh, I'm all natural, no filter Friday or whatever it's called. And everybody's like, oh, beautiful queen. Yeah.
Which is a lie.
Yep.
And it could be no filter, but you have on concealer, you have on whatever. They just lie, and then you chase that, and you realize, well, what can I do to not get a filter? They're not even doing that. And here's another thing that I find that's really, really strange about this big booty craze. Now I gotta tell you, I really, I was so hopeful that we as Black women had turned a corner when it came to accepting our beauty and not chasing the white aesthetic, right? Because let me tell you something, I don't really know too many Black women, Dominican women in my circle that do not have natural hair. And when I tell you, some of them were like die hard, like they were like, girl, you brave for doing that, girl. I could never go to work like that, girl. These women have so many women have embraced the natural hair. So I'm thinking, oh man, we're really starting to love ourselves. But then here comes Kim Kardashian selling us something. This is how weak we are. She is selling us something we already got. Big asses and big lips. What?
Yeah.
Why again? Why do we keep doing this? So we already got big asses, but Kim went and bought her one. So
well, she didn't just buy one. She bought like 10 because that ain't one ass. That's one big.
No,
ass.
she's had a few. Yeah, she's had a few.
So I think what happens is and I think you've even said this to me before about culture vultures. It's mainstreaming because there is I know you notice that there's a Black Twitter and then there's Twitter. There's everything, and so in our realm, that's mainstream. But then when outsiders like Kim Kardashian notice our culture and think, wow, that is beautiful, I am going to adopt that. And so she's already mainstream. So she's now introducing a whole new set of beauty standards that we're already living that.
We're born
We've
with
been
it.
doing it. Yeah.
So she
like
introduced a whole new audience to what we already
had.
But she's exploited it. And now, it's like, everybody wants to get a big butt. Everybody wants to get the big duck lips. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, Kim Kardashian.
It's to the extreme. It's to the
I mean,
extreme.
do you think that it's something that we should thank her for?
No, not unless she's going to give us some money for it.
No, I think that we definitely we give her the business for being for getting acceptance for things that we have been trashed about all of our life. Oh, we big bubble lips, your big pie, whatever they call, whatever derogatory thing you could think of about big lips, your big bubble butt and whatever. But then Kim Kardashian goes and buys her one, and all of a sudden hers is completely accepted. And then, but I don't understand what is it about. And then, Kim, when we wear braids, we look unprofessional, we look unkept or whatever. when she wears braids or some, and
She's
we
exotic.
but we black people ridicule, we get offended, and we say it's cultural appropriation, but we are admonishing her for stealing our culture, but we're still chasing after her to look like her or to acquire more than her, and in terms of the black aesthetic. And that to me baffles me more than anything, is how the mainstream uh 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 Hollywood celebrity, i.e. Kim Kardashian, can sell us something that we already have. Like, are we that naive? Are we that?
It's just the power of social media. It's the power of that social machine. So you can put
I
anything on there and almost sell it.
Well, the fact is, like Kim Kardashian's little sister, Kylie,
And
Kylie.
Kylie, oh, she's a whole nother
Well, she
person.
had her lips removed, but
Oh, she did.
she did. So, people are reversing these things. Like Kylie reversed her lips. You have K Michelle, who talked in great detail about her
About
butt
her.
shots
Yeah.
and all of the pain that it caused her, Black China. But
Mhm.
unfortunately, these things are not really catching on, and people are really not taking heed to these tales. They're still pursuing this, and I'm just wondering why. And really, why? Um, and I guess I go back to my original, our original question: why are women of a certain age checking for what young um, girls are doing, and why aren't these young girls looking to women of a certain age as their aspiration? And that answer to that question is actually easier, because we're not there. We're invisible. We're absent. um
We are invisible, and the thing is, they're not looking beyond their 22-year-old selves. They're not
Yeah.
looking to recognize or realize that in so many years I will be a woman of a certain age.
Yep.
They think that these booty shots or whatever they're doing is going to last them, and then they'll have this eternal youthful appearance and lifestyle. And so until and unless they realize that, they won't have uh, women of a certain age as role models. They'll have role models like, um, name one of these little Sexy Kent. What was that girl's name? Sexy Red. Remember last time we did
Oh, the
podcast?
last weekend it
Like
was at the thing.
those
Yeah.
those are the types of people that young kids these days are looking up to. They're calling people like us aunties.
yeah.
So
I
I
don't know
mean,
how I feel about that, but I mean, I think it's meant to be flattering.
I think it's
um
meant to be kind of respectful, as respectful as they can find themselves to be.
Yeah,
yeah.
yes, because they're not too respectful
No, not at
out
all.
here.
Yeah.
Um, I
But
think
it's also like, well, do we? There's a fine line. Like, do we want to be sexy? We want to be beautiful. We want to be attractive. We want our spouses to notice us. But how far do we go? Like, how far do we have to go to get
well,
that?
how far? Answer the question, because that really is the question. Because and I think I said it might have been online or offline, but I have joked about, like, I actually would I actually do miss a good cat call. Back in the day when you used
Oh
to walk
yeah.
by and guys used to, like, be yelling obscenities at you.
Yes,
I used to get
yes.
so insulted,
But I will
and I
take
would
one
when,
now, baby.
when
I'm
I tell
telling
you
you.
something,
Yes.
I'm telling you, I'm walking down the street and bums are hollering at me. They're like, "Ooh, sex!" I'm like, "This is the only action I can get."
I can get.
I mean,
Oh
these
my
freaking bums.
God.
I mean, I'm like, what? Or
What happened?
I'm legit. They're either bums, or they are clearly people that they're probably my age, but I'm like, oh my
No, thank
God,
you.
how old are you, Grandpa?
I know.
But my husband was Grandpa. So I'm like, holy cow. So the question is, what really is the end goal? Because who are you trying to attract at fit? I'm going to be 57 this month. Who are you? Who am I trying? Well, I'm married, but let's pretend I'm single. Who would I be trying to attract with a big old 47-inch booty and a 22-inch waist and a 40 double whatever? I don't even know. So who am I trying to attract looking like that? Who's gonna take me serious? It's not gonna be anybody my age.
I don't think that when women do that, a lot of times it's just like when women dress. I think they don't necessarily do it. They do it for other women. They do it so that
Who is looking at them? Because you are right. Women do dress for other women.
That's right. That's right. So a lot of that has to do with their peers and the way they perceive their peers to see them. They may not even understand what they're doing at some point, but they think that, oh, I'm one up and I look better than her. Oh, we're the same age, but I look younger. But I got the lashes. I've got the filler. I've got the lips. I'm still tight and I'm right. My stomach's flat. And if you're not doing it for yourself, that's the first problem. It should always be for you first, and then whatever happens, happens. If you're worrying about what somebody else is worrying about, you head down a bad rabbit hole.
Now I do have to admit that whenever I'm going somewhere with a group of people, and I don't care about the men, but the women, I always say, I cannot go in there looking crazy as hell.
I'm not going to be the worst looking one.
Listen, I have to be fabulous. I don't care. And everything has to be just right. And I don't even know if it's because I care about what they think. I just know that in my mind, I feel better when I look better.
Yeah.
And, I know that there's no, the only conversation that would be had was, well, damn, she look good. That's what that's
what you want. That's what you're going for. Yeah.
That's what I'm going for.
But and it's also, I think, if you're being honest, if you're a person who was always together back in your 20s and your 30s, you're
gonna keep it together.
You can't let that go. You're just like, oh, I know I still gotta at least be number 2 or 3. You know what I mean?
Well,
and
Sonia knows
is real.
Sonia knows that from a long time ago, I would never leave the house without a full face beat. Like my makeup was always on.
I think you would come out the bedroom at a family holiday without.
So no bed hair days, no caps, no caps.
No. That bonnet is not coming out into the living quarters.
No, ma'am. I mean, I had it to get, and that was just who I am. That's just who I am. It's not, and I don't know. And I think that's what makes it harder as you get older.
Yeah, because to let it go.
And I'm not letting it go. Okay, let's just get that straight.
No.
And but I think that's a good thing. I think that is a good thing. I think that we should care about. Yeah. I would like to care more about the way that I present outside. There's a lot of days I don't really care.
Most of my days.
But I've never really been that person. Although it really did shock me, like when I go on vacation, when I've gone on vacation with friends, and they'll say, "I never realized what a girly girl you are," and then I'm like, me, because I don't see myself that way at all. But I've never been, well, now because I have planters and all these other things that come with age, I've never been that person that wore, like, just walking around wearing sneakers. So I've never been that person. So I'm always going to have on a shoe or a sandal or whatever. And then I like like what do you call not the gowns? What do you call those sundresses and things like that on vacation? Just because they're comfortable, but not because I never really equated them with being girly girl. But so I think there is definitely a distinction between, washing your face every night and moisturizing, using retinol and hyaluronic acids and collagen,
That's
drinking it,
needed.
doing
You have
all of
to.
these things to
Yeah.
to sustain the elasticity in your skin. These are things that are important,
Yeah.
but they're the other riskier parts of it, like plastic surgery, I don't find so much, and it really is, it's unfortunate that that we don't have more representation in the mainstream, that are embracing, that are showing us the same way they showed us how to become women, that are showing us how to be our best selves at this age. There aren't a lot of and I think we were talking about Vivica Fox. Remember, like, Vivica Fox was, and these are like people in our age bracket, but that we still grew with. And like, you still feel like we have a whole conglomerate of women that were considered very beautiful, that now, well, let's talk about Vivica, because Vivica's only said that she has done Botox and here and there, but people have given Vivica the business for overdoing it.
But I don't think so. I think it's probably,
I think she's corrected it along the way, and I'm finding Vivica back on the aspirational list. I think and Vivica's little quote, "Keep it tight, keep it right." I'm here for it.
I think she looks fantastic.
Yeah.
So
I
that
think
first
that she
image,
gained some weight. I think weight
that
gain.
first image when she was really young. I mean, I can see like she's had some stuff done with her nose.
Oh, I could tell that she was with 50.
Oh, her nose
has
definitely been done. Look at her nose.
Yeah,
absolutely. Unless that's some contouring. Now people want to blame it on contouring too, but
that's when she was with 50 Cent. When you're always chasing these. I think she's still sprung on him.
Oh, she is a little bit.
I listen. I still think she looks. I think she looks great. She just has a bad rap. For trying to be. I think
Halle Berry looks great.
Fabulous, fantastic.
And you don't think she's had work done?
I don't. Well, listen. I believe all of those Hollywood types have had Botox, and I think that's a given. Let's just say they've all had Botox and fillers, but she hasn't overdone it. She looks very. I think she's vegan. I think she's whatever.
She think she has the genes. Like her mom is like Italian, or she's some exotic. She's a Caucasian, but not just white. I think so sometimes you just get those great genes, and it really does help.
What do we think about Janet? Now, Janet's obviously had some work done, but has she overdone it? I mean, or not so much. I feel like her cheeks. I feel like if she goes in for one more cheek injection, it's going to be given.
It's going to explode. Well, because you just saw her recently. How did she look?
Listen, I am a Janet Jackson fan, so don't come for Miss Jackson.
Janet Jackson.
Do not come for Miss Jackson, okay? Because in my eyes, she's perfect. But I did notice some cheek, like a little, maybe a bit, one too many fillers.
Yeah.
But she has been having maybe body dysmorphia. I don't know what it's called, but I'm saying that she's gone through, from childhood through, like, she's been ridiculed for being overweight. She's been, like, all kinds of things have happened. Her brother with his surgeries and stuff, like, they've all had that same nose thing.
Yeah.
So that's a family trauma thing, I think. But
even the parents have had nose jobs. Yeah.
Yes, and I do believe that she has not gone over too far yet. I think she's almost there.
because, and I don't know if it's bodies. Janet, at some point in Janet's life, it ebbs and flows. She likes food because
Yeah.
Janet
You
will
can tell.
go up 50, 60 pounds.
And then lose
And-
it, baby. And then she'll be out there
and
hustling.
then when she needs to get it together,
She
and
get
I
it
feel like
down.
she's at that age now where she's down, but she's not going back down to where she
Too
was
much
when she
farther.
was, you know.
Yeah.
It's at a certain age, you just really, it's hard to get back there. And that's another thing, you need to know when to fold them. You need to know when it's okay not to be a size 0.
Yeah.
If you
And
got
she's
a little bit more
she's a
weight,
woman,
your
and
cheeks
she
are
has
going
a
to look
she has a
fuller.
kid. She has a
Mhm.
child now, so now she's comfortable with being a woman. You can't
Yes.
be a size 0 woman. You know, I mean, you can, but that's not practical. You know, not
Yeah.
African American anyway. Let me just put it like that. So yeah,
Yes.
maybe she's a little bit more comfortable in her skin. Hopefully. But at
Yep.
this age, we don't know. I mean, 58 ain't great. It ain't fun. It ain't nice. Nothing about it is. And it's a daily grind. No
Oh,
matter what you do.
yeah,
Daily.
it's a daily grind. And I feel like, because I've even had this conversation with Sonia, offline. Like, I'm just so close to just giving up and just giving in to it. And she's like, no, we can't do that.
I mean, it
No.
really
cannot-
isn't an option.
No.
We can't give into it, because I literally envision myself like sitting in a moo
No.
drinking drinking a chocolate milkshake.
Only if you're gonna move to Hawaii.
Girl, it just seems so much easier.
No, it's not.
But then
It's
I think
really
that lifestyle would eventually lead to medical problems.
Right.
And so it's hard. It's really
Yep.
hard to keep
That's
it up,
right.
but we have
That
to.
part.
We have to, as women of a certain age, we have to, for our own sanity and to keep our health, because our health matters. I don't think it matters so much how we look, even though that's very important.
How we feel.
But how we feel is what will get us to the next day,
Well,
the
I'm
next
just
decade.
gonna tell you, it's my mental. And mentally, if I look in the mirror, and I am always watching. If it's true, if I'm hips, stomach, I'm like, girl, you got it. What you gonna do? Because this ain't gonna work. Stop going out and drinking. You're gonna have to stop brunching for about a month. Get it back together. Because I will diet to go on vacation. So I ain't playing. Look, I don't have those calories
That's me
to give
right
away.
now.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna have fun on that vacation. I ain't gonna be worried about no pounds. I'm gonna lose mine before I go.
Yes.
And I think that really is, like, if there was a takeaway, for us women of a certain age, that just know that you're not alone. This is it is a struggle. It
Yep.
is it is what it is. You struggle, you diet, you don't feel like you're getting any losses in terms of weight. You're not gaining, what you want to gain out of what you're all that you're putting in. But it really isn't an option to quit. Like,
No.
quitting really isn't an option, because the
Yeah.
alternative, I know for myself, I've been the same weight. I've been dieting. I've been the same weight for 2.5 months dieting. And I'm like, the fuck? What?
I know.
Like, what do I,
Yeah.
like, what? And, and I'm like, listen, I got 20 caftans upstairs. So listen,
Throw it on, baby. Throw it on.
but that, I know that's going to lead to depression.
Yep.
That's going to lead to a
Yes.
whole other, because
Yeah.
the alternative is I
Mental.
can keep the course and not
Yeah.
losing, or I can give up and keep gaining, because
And that ain't an option.
that's
Just
not-
not an option.
that's not an option. And guess what, too? Surgery. Surgery is not an option for me,
Yeah.
because and I really want to caution people, and I'm not saying don't do surgery. I'm not saying it. I'm not against surgery,
Right.
but I'm saying, even if you do surgery, it can't be a substitution for, like, I'm going to do surgery because I don't want to diet. I'm going to
Yeah.
do surgery because I want to be snatched tomorrow.
Because you will
Surgery
gain it
doesn't
back.
work like that. It's
That's
still
right.
gonna, even when you get your tummy tucked, it's gonna take you 3 months to see the results anyway. You're gonna be wearing compression garments, you're gonna be leaking fluids, you're gonna be doing all, yeah, you are gonna be
You
leaking.
are. Yeah.
And in the same 3 months, if you were about your diet and your exercise, you might have lost the same amount of weight that you just paid $30,000 for,
And still had the
that's a
money
good
in your
point.
pocket.
and
to
still
go buy
have the
you some
money
new
in your
clothes.
pocket. And guess what?
Yep.
When you snatched and looking good, if you don't decide, okay, now I'm snatched and looking good, if you decide you're going to go back to keep on eating the way you're eating, your macaroni and cheese and your fried chicken and your chitlins and your collard greens with fat back and whatnot, it's not going to last. The same way your diet's not going to last, your surgery's not going to last. So, I just, think about it. And for me, I know I've been a yo-yo dieter for 30 years, 30 years.
My whole life.
Least.
My whole life.
I know it would be a waste of my money to go and pay.
So
and that is one thing I do not do.
You know that you wouldn't do what you were supposed to do. It would be like a temporary fix, and then you'd be right back.
No, I can't.
So
no.
Well,
let me ask.
No.
Let me ask for people who do plastic surgery on their faces, right? And I can think of 2 women right now that I'm observing, actually 3 that I'm observing as they get older. If they stopped right now, what happens to their skin? Like, what happens to their face? Do they continue to age, or does that just freeze them in place? Like what?
It wears off.
Well, which women are you thinking of?
I know. I was going to ask.
Can you
that
share?
Too. Oh,
okay. This crazy woman has changed. Okay. She's not even recognizable anymore. Why did she do this to her? Charade. And this is what I feel like. This is why I feel plastic surgery is addictive. Because why would you, why did she do this?
She was
but
beautiful.
She looks different. She doesn't look like that now, does she?
Yes.
Really?
This was taken from the last episode. Where I watched it and I was like, what has that girl done to her face? Yes.
Oh, well, hadn't seen the last episode, so she wouldn't have something done, because in the beginning of the episode, she didn't look like that.
No.
She looked like she did on the other side.
So in the episode,
her nose is definitely different. Her lips are different.
In the episode, she does not look like this. But when they do the confessional, you know how they sit down in the chair, that's what she looks like in the confessional. You got to go watch it.
So the woman on the right with the blonde hair, is that new or old?
That's how she looks now.
Well, it looks like her nose is bigger.
I think it's sitting up more.
Oh,
it's definitely different. And I don't know, I would dare say I've seen pictures of her where her lips look actually bigger than this particular photo. And maybe, these pictures from these episodes are some months old, but she's overdone it.
I gotta go watch that tonight.
Yeah, she's definitely, and these reality. So there was interesting. I read it on the commute home.
Ooh, girl!
Now she looks better,
way better.
She honey, I'm co-signing all your surgery. Just stop right there.
A hot mess back in the day.
Just stop right there. Oh my God, whoever her surgeon is, he did a great job, but she needs to stop right there.
Now, she don't need no more. She don't need no more. Yeah, she looks much better.
But I mean, she doesn't even look like Nene. Like I really, she doesn't have an edge. She looks like everybody.
Well, everybody wants to look like everybody. Isn't that something? Everybody wants to look like everybody.
Well, that's true.
Oh,
girl. She looked better too. I'm sorry, but she do.
I want to say that she looks better, especially in this picture. But better. I can't with her in this hair.
Yeah,
her hair. I personally have a problem with Black women because I do not like the pursuit of the European aesthetic personally. And this blonde platinum hair on Black women, it bothers me. And you know what it reminds me of? Back in the day when you did blaxploitation movies that we used to watch back in the day, who used to wear platinum blonde hair? Hookers. So it reminds. She looks like a cheap hooker. I'm not with it. Not with it.
Make sure we tag Phaedra and Nene on this episode.
I'm gonna get me a blonde wig. I don't care what y'all say.
Girl,
listen,
you go ahead.
Listen. It's cute for and I get that they're wearing wigs, so you can take it off and whatever. But I don't know. Please take it off. Like wear for a carpet and then just go back to your regular self. Let me know that you're still cool with being who you are. Because to me, when you start trading up the nose, and Phaedra looks lighter. Mm-hmm. If you look in those pictures now, I don't know if it's makeup or whatever. I'm not going to say she's bleaching. Well, they all look lighter.
Yeah, so they all do.
Maybe it's makeup, but it's giving. That I don't know. There's something weird about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just when you start making money at that level, things change, and it is expected. And I was just gonna say earlier, if you go back and compare the reality shows today with 10 years ago, you'd be like, who is that? Oh my goodness, I didn't even recognize her. They don't look anything alike.
Yeah. So there was an Ohio. I was reading it there was an Ohio plastic surgeon that was just. That she was fined and she lost her medical license for doing surgeries on TikTok.
What?
And what do you mean?
Oh, she was recording them and people. She was
recording the surgeries on TikTok, sucking out people's business on TikTok, and so that also is what makes it is very scary. And a lot of these people that go and get surgery, they go at the advice of these reality stars who are getting the surgery. That Moniece from Love and Hip Hop, she's been advertising her upcoming plastic surgery for seems like weeks now. Now she's finally had it. She's been saying that she's been struggling with losing weight and
which one is Moniece?
Moniece is the one that was that has the baby with Little Fizz from B2K.
Oh, the half Asian girl?
No, that's the half Asian girl is the one who was messing with Little Fizz and Omarion, but she's got kids from Omarion. Yes,
Moniece was always very skinny.
Yes, but Moniece gained some weight now, and she's saying no matter what I can't lose weight. So now she went and got one of those mommy makeovers. Even though how old is her son? 13 or whatever. Mommy makeover, and this doctor, she is his advertisement. And so she's naked on social media with her butt, and he's drawing. And this is, who would want to go to a doctor that does that?
She's getting a kickback.
That's why I say.
That's why I say.
No, she's getting it for free.
Yeah, I mean,
have you looked at 90 Day? What is that 90 Day Fiance? That what is that lady's name? Angela, that big horrible person that was ginormous, was married to the white lady.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And her plastic surgery is for free, because all you have to do, if you have a certain following, this is advertisement. Like
free advertisement.
Yeah. And that, as a matter of fact, she looks horrible. After her she looks better, but she still looks horrible. She looks like the letter P.
Is that looking forward or looking sideways?
Oh my God.
Ooh, the letter P. Wow.
I mean, yeah. Do y'all think that listen, I definitely think there is an economic divide between the kinds of plastic surgery
Yep.
that people get. Now, if you're chasing after the mainstream people, meaning mainstream, i.e., white people, if you they're getting their fillers. You know, they want their laugh lines gone. I always say, if I look like this, I would look so much. Oh, if I get like a little injection here, my
Well,
bags.
wait a minute. Now, it ain't just the white people. I get fillers, but it's because I don't
No,
have,
no, no.
I
So
don't have cheekbones.
so I'm saying and I think you're in a different socioeconomic bracket than
Well,
what
maybe not. I'm right on the edge.
I'm saying there are people from a certain socioeconomic background
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
that are interested in certain procedures,
Yeah.
and
Because
those
they can afford them.
and those would be Botox and fillers. And
Mm-hmm.
then there are and you know, they want perky boobs, and they want, you know, they don't want any cellulite.
Right.
And then you have people,
I feel
I'm gonna
attacked.
just say hood ratchet. They want a big ass, big bubble butt that's a size 40 and a 19-inch waist, and they want some the BBLs.
Well, they
which are-
still in the club. They still in somebody's club pouring
these are the kind of
champagne,
people
popping
that go
bottles.
out with these are the
Yes,
kind
they
of people
do.
that go out with their daughters
Yeah.
to the
Yep.
club.
Or they done found a club
Ooh.
that caters to that look.
Listen, and I'm gonna tell you, they drop, you know, these are, you know, this is a certain kind of woman. They're growing up with their children because they're not that far apart in age. And before
Yeah.
y'all get all twisted, number one, I do not care. And number two, my mother was a teenage mother, so do not
Yeah.
come for me.
My
But I'm
mom
gonna
was
tell you,
too.
so
Yep.
do not come for me, because you are up in the club with your kids. You are trying to be like your daughter. You see your daughter in booty shorts, and you want the same attention, so you're gonna wear some booty shorts too.
Don't do it.
Don't
Stay
do
in
it.
your lane. We have come
Don't
full.
do it.
Stay in your lane. The booty shorts are meant for that booty, not for yours. Okay? Not.
I feel like I'm in trouble.
Listen.
Woo.
I'm
Tell them,
just saying,
Sonia.
women, stop competing with your daughters, and
Yes.
stop with the BBLs, because there are reputable plastic surgeons that won't even do that surgery, because do
Mhm.
you know what it is to transfer cupfuls of fat from your thighs and your back, your chicken cutlets in your back, and inject them into the blood vessels in your ass?
It's the blood
Do
vessels.
you know
That's
that
the
is
problem.
that
That's
is
it.
why people are dying?
Yep.
And
The
you're
blood
willing
vessels.
to risk it. And what is the point of
Yeah.
that? Stop competing with your daughter. That's
Yeah.
nasty. Number one, I think that's nasty. Stop doing that.
Mhm.
Well, you know, and I gotta believe most men don't think that that's attractive. That's why I say, when I said, I think a lot of these surgeries are for other people, not necessarily to try to attract a man. Because most guys are like, I know that ass ain't real. You know, they can look at that and tell.
Guys don't seem to like that too. That's a whole other.
No,
that's
they
a
don't.
whole other. So yeah,
Right.
they must
Right.
be doing it for the next woman, because guys
Right.
do not seem to like that at all.
That's
No,
very
they
true.
don't.
Yep.
Well, this has been very,
Woo!
very entertaining. And lots of good information. And you know,
Girl, don't do it.
if we prevented somebody
Girl,
from
get
competing with
therapy.
their daughter, we've done our
Go to
job.
therapist, not the
Yeah.
plastic surgeon. Let that be your takeaway.
Well,
Yeah.
and when you said that earlier, you're right. So, like, if you get weight reduction when you have your stomach, the sleeve, and all that stuff, that's when they make you go and have a couple of sessions with a therapist.
Okay.
Oh, like gastric and
Yes.
stuff like that. Yes,
Yes.
because you have to be ready for that. Not even that is you.
Yeah.
That is major. Not even that will last if you don't
Right.
change your lifestyle.
Very
Yeah.
true. Very
Well, ladies, thank you so much. This has been fun. And we got to do it again, because there's still so much to talk about, you know, as we age gracefully, we have to figure this thing out, right? And we have to talk about it. So
Yep.
thank you again. This was great.
Great. It was a good conversation.
Yes,
For
it
sure.
was.
For sure.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.